Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Fluctus Channel. The dangerous job of the U.S. Navy pilot begins with an unusual idea, taking million-dollar jets to sea and flying them from a runway that moves. Naval aviation grew from early shipboard experiments into one of the most powerful systems in modern warfare. Today, a carrier air wing may include FA-18E, F Super Hornets for strike missions, EA-18G Growlers for electronic attack, E-2D Hawkeyes for airborne command and control, helicopters for rescue and anti-submarine work, and transport aircraft that keep the ship connected to shore. Each aircraft has a different mission, but all of them depend on the floating airport, the same deck crews, and the same unforgiving ocean. The ship may be thousands of miles from home, so every sortie must launch, fight, return, refuel, and relaunch from a deck smaller than a land-based runway. The FA-18 remains the workhorse of carrier aviation. It can launch with weapons, refuel other aircraft, escort strike packages, and attack targets far from the ship. During air shows or major exercises such as RIMPAC, the aircraft demonstrates speed and maneuverability. But carrier flying is not entertainment. It is controlled risk. Before any launch, the aircraft must be moved from the hangar or parking area to the flight deck. TOW crews attach tractors, wing walkers guide the movement, and directors use hand signals to place the jet in the right spot without striking other aircraft, weapons carts, antennas, or sailors. Pilot preparation begins below deck and continues beside the aircraft. The pilot studies the mission, weather, fuel plan, emergency procedures, radio frequencies, and recovery time. Gear is checked, helmet and mask are fitted, and the aircrew walks to the jet through one of the busiest workplaces in the world. Pre-flight begins with a careful inspection. Tires, wings, control surfaces, weapon stations, panels, fuel leaks, landing gear, and tailhook. The pilot climbs in, straps down, powers systems, checks instruments, and waits for the deck to clear. Coordination with flight deck staff controls every movement. Yellow shirts direct aircraft. Green shirts handle catapults and arresting gear. Purple shirts fuel jets. Red shirts manage ordnance. Brown shirts handle plane captain duties. White shirts watch safety. Inside the launch bubble, catapult officers and crew monitor final signals, steam or electromagnetic systems, aircraft weight, wind, and deck status. The takeoff is brutal. The jet taxis to the catapult, launch bar down, wings spread, control surfaces checked. The pilot goes to full power, salutes, and braces. In seconds, the aircraft is hurled from 0 to flying speed, leaving the deck over open water. Landing is harder. The pilot returns to a moving ship, follows the glide path, keeps power steady, and aims for arresting wires. The tailhook catches, the aircraft stops violently, and deck crews immediately prepare for the next aircraft. This is why naval aviation is a 24-hour profession. Day or night, calm or rough, every launch and recovery is a team event built on trust and timing. No pilot reaches a carrier deck by accident. Naval aviators pass through years of screening, classroom work, simulators, flight training, and carrier qualification before they are trusted with frontline jets. The path begins with fundamentals: aerodynamics, navigation, weather, emergency procedures, radio discipline, formation flying, and aircraft systems. Students learn how to think ahead because a fast jet leaves little time for surprise. A mistake that is small in a classroom can become dangerous at 500 knots or near a pitching carrier deck. Instructors therefore build pressure slowly, adding harder weather, tighter formations, radio calls, and emergency problems until the student learns to stay calm. Training aircraft makes that progress possible. The T-34 Mentor, once used in earlier stages of military flight training, helped students understand basic handling, communication, and procedures before they moved toward higher performance aircraft. Its value was not speed or weapons, it taught discipline. The student learned checklist habits, smooth control, landing judgment, and cockpit organization. Those habits follow a pilot into every later aircraft. Before a pilot can manage a radar, weapons, system, or night carrier approach, the basics must become instinctive. For jet carrier aviation, the T-45 Goshawk became one of the most important trainers. It is a tandem-seat, carrier-capable jet trainer used for Navy and Marine Corps pilots. Students practice approaches, formation work, instruments, weapons basics, and the procedures needed for carrier aviation. Landing with the Goshawk teaches the rhythm of the boat. The pilot must fly the proper pattern, control speed, line up, listen to landing signal guidance, and commit to a firm touchdown. The aircraft is smaller than an FA-18, but the lesson is the same. The carrier does not forgive sloppy flying. Repetition builds sight picture, muscle memory, and confidence. Advanced training adds tactical thinking. At places such as Marine Corps, Air Station, Beaufort, and other training commands, pilots learn air combat maneuvering, strike tactics, weapons employment, threat reactions, and teamwork. Top Gun-style training exists because combat aviation is not only about flying the airplane, it is about making correct decisions under pressure while the enemy is trying to do the same. Pilots study previous mistakes, debrief every flight, and learn to speak honestly about errors because survival improves when lessons are shared. Modern technology helps pilots train and survive. Medicine, human performance, sensors, simulation, helmet systems, data analysis, and virtual environments all support naval aviation. Researchers and military partners study fatigue, workload, motion sickness, vision, decision-making, and injury prevention. Simulators can recreate emergencies that would be too dangerous to repeat in real aircraft. Flight data can reveal mistakes and improve instruction. The future of naval aviation will use more digital tools, artificial intelligence, unmanned aircraft, and advanced training environments. But the core remains human. A young pilot still has to build judgment through repetition. The first carrier landing, the first night recovery, and the first emergency all depend on lessons learned slowly. School turns a student into someone who can control fear, follow procedure, and bring an expensive aircraft home. Behind every Navy pilot is a deck full of sailors whose jobs make flying possible. A carrier flight deck is dangerous because engines, propellers, rotor blades, jet blast, weapons, fuel hoses, moving aircraft, and arresting wires all operate in a small space. Before pilots can fly, sailors must keep that space clean, safe, and organized. Some tasks look simple but matter deeply. Flight deck scrub teams remove grease, fuel residue, salt, debris, and grime that can affect traction or damage aircraft. Countermeasure washdown systems spray water across exposed surfaces to help remove contamination, salt, and residues. Foam drills teach crews how to blanket fuel fires before they spread. Every wash, scrub, and safety check protects aircraft tires, sailors' footing, and the ship itself. Gunners' mates carry another part of the burden. They maintain weapons, small arms, magazines, and ordnance-related equipment. Preserving traditions while working around real danger. Ordnance on a carrier must be handled carefully because one mistake can threaten the entire ship. Red shirts and weapons teams move bombs, missiles, and ammunition through strict procedures, while gunners' mates help keep weapon systems ready and accountable. Their work connects old naval customs with modern firepower, from salutes and small arms to combat loading. Watchstanders are the eyes of the ship. Some monitor the edge of the flight deck, aircraft movement, and safety zones. Flight deck control tracks where each aircraft sits, which one is ready to launch, and which one must move next. The catapult and arresting crew inside the bubble watches aircraft hook up, launch, land, and clear the landing area. They work with signals, headsets, instruments, and timing that must match the pilot's actions. Quartermasters support the bigger picture by helping with navigation, charts, position, and the ship's movement. A carrier must place itself where wind, sea room, and mission need support flight operations. Above the deck, the airboss controls aviation operations from primary flight control, coordinating launch cycles, recoveries, deck status, emergencies, and communications. The executive officer helps oversee the ship's wider daily operations, making sure departments, safety, discipline, and mission readiness work together. The pilot may be the visible figure in the cockpit, but every takeoff depends on this hidden workforce. Their jobs turn chaos into order. Without clean decks, safe weapons handling, watchful eyes, navigation, command oversight, and disciplined flight deck crews, even the best pilot would never leave the ship safely at sea. Naval aviation accepts danger, but it never treats danger casually. The flight deck is constantly fighting foreign object debris, known as FOD. A small bolt, tool, washer, or piece of metal can be sucked into an engine, puncture a tire, or damage a control surface. That is why sailors perform FOD walkdowns, lining up across the deck and searching carefully. The process may look slow, but it protects aircraft on every mission. Unexpected incidents still happen. An FA-18 can suffer mechanical failure, a landing accident, or an emergency that sends the aircraft into the water. In those moments, the carrier switches from routine operations to a rescue mindset. Flight deck crews secure the area, medical teams prepare, lookouts report, and rescue assets move quickly. Pilots prepare for that possibility through water survival training. In the aviation dunker, crews experience a simulated crash into water. The trainer rolls, submerges, and forces them to escape while disoriented. They practice finding exits, controlling panic, using breathing equipment, and surfacing safely. It is uncomfortable by design because the real ocean will not be gentle. Combat search and rescue teams train to save downed pilots when the worst happens. Helicopters, swimmers, aircrew, and security teams practice locating survivors, lowering rescue equipment, hoisting personnel, and defending the recovery area. From FOD prevention to crash response and water survival, naval aviation is dangerous because the sea offers no second runway. But the Navy keeps flying because it trains for the danger before the emergency arrives. Each pilot is backed by crews ready to launch, recover, clean, fight fires, rescue survivors, and keep aircraft moving around the clock. That's the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to subscribe to this channel so you don't miss any of our new content. See you next time.